What's up, you bunch of rascals? I got to get into my like energetic mode because I've just been beat down all day. So it's time to like, I don't know, wake up. I should have done some push-ups or some laps around the. Hold on, I'm gonna go jog around my house real quick. I'll be back. Get some energy here.
Yeah.
What's up, man?
Not much.
Men, what's up, men?
Not much.
Where's Christos Christofferson?
Who cares?
Where is he?
He's at his anniversary with his old lady.
He does stuff.
Yeah, his ball and chain. Apparently, they've been married for like, what do you say, like 14 years or something ridiculous?
14 years?
I don't know. I just made that number up.
I drove with my wife to pick up pizza for tonight because I'm fat.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, by the way,
I can confirm that he is
speaking of
fat.
fat, I just bought the fat dad shirts. I didn't. My mom got them for my birthday.
Which, like I told you before the show, Adam, those are actually just called normal shirts. But then when you wear them, they're called fat dad shirts. Just because, you know.
Are they like formed a certain way? Like what's...
Yeah, it's like tighter around your upper torso and your arms, and then it takes off for your fat.
Are those the actual ones like off of Facebook?
Yes.
Yeah? I was kind of curious about those. And they taper down like around the bottom, kind of like a blouse.
Yeah.
So you can't like see your beer gut and stuff.
Yeah. It's just like when you start getting fat, when you're, you know, in your late 20s, 30s, you start getting those pants that stretch instead of the solid. You know what I mean?
When you're really giving up on life.
Exactly.
But they're like all tight in the shoulders, so you walk around like, hey man, where's the gym? And they're like, oh yeah, you're kind of buff, but you're also like fat at the same time.
I hate that when guys think they're big and they have a big huge gut.
That's what those dad shirts are for, man.
Oh,
exactly. It shows off my physique.
Yep. Like, look at these shoulders.
How about you go on a treadmill or run around the block? How about that?
I was going for walks, but you know,
or stop eating so much licorice.
Yeah.
Guys, my licorice that I ordered last Friday is officially here from licorice.com.
Oh my god.
I mean, that licorice is so good though. I could eat that whole canister, but it's, I don't know how much sugar it's got in it, dude. It's just a can of diabetes waiting to happen.
No kidding.
I mean, it's I swear it was like for one of those little tiny pieces is like 120 calories.
Really?
Yeah, you guys never mind. You guys didn't look. I should have just flip that thing over. It's like 2 pieces or 1 piece, 120 calories.
Calories 100.
That's close.
Total fat. How many pieces though?
Should say serving size right at the top. It's probably 1 or 2.
Oh, serving size is 7 pieces.
7 pieces. Wow, that I grossly overestimated that or underestimated it. One of the two.
Yeah.
Jesus said,
shit, that's a pretty healthy snack then. I'm gonna order me some of that up.
There you go. Jesus says, I remember when Joe was on a treadmill for the show. Remember that?
That was awesome.
When you were on and then you were off the treadmill all of a sudden.
I can't believe you guys caught that. But anyway,
that was amazing.
And I ended it right at the right spot. Did that make the blooper reel or no?
It will.
Well, for this one,
I mean, of course it will. Watching Joe, he runs like a potato. It's great.
He took one for the team.
I did take one for the team for
it's
sure.
Like if you had a potato and you're just rolling it on a treadmill, it's all like floppy and bouncy, and then it falls down. It's a great time.
I'm a good runner, to be honest, but not on a treadmill.
Dude, I am not a good runner. And right now, if you know anything about running, Joe, you know what I think it's called the patella tendon, that tendon right underneath your kneecap that connects your kneecap to like your femur. I don't know what the fuck. I don't know what these bones are called. They're just bones.
Yeah.
And so that it's all inflamed, or mine's like all inflamed right now.
Why?
It doesn't really hurt. It just kind of stings a wee bit.
Ouch.
Overuse. Kneeling down a lot this week, just bashing the hell out of it. I fell down the stairs like 2 weeks ago. Maybe.
Oh, great. I'm trying to be a little bit more careful on my knees, like for the past, I don't know, years.
Oh yeah. Over the last couple of years, I've really been focusing on not so much knee pads because I can't do the knee pads, but I do the kneeling pads.
Right.
So everywhere I go, I got like 4 kneeling pads in my van. Even like when you open up my back door and my side doors, I got kneeling pads right there, so I can kneel on those and then get something out of my van.
Yeah.
But it's not the kneeling pads I take into the stores or the restaurants with me, because then I'd forget to bring it out and then I'd be bashing my knees all up again.
Yeah, I know.
Where
is Chris anyways, guys? Oh, well, we already said that actually. Where Chris
we already talked about it.
But
that was like an hour ago.
Let's address people in the chat at least, because
let's address people in the chat. We got Uncle Ted in the house, anti-DIY HVAC.
It's good to see you, Ted.
What's up, Ted?
Jesus, Chipmunk, Anonymous, good to see you.
Herman Lloyd,
Chevy,
Jesus Fish, Miss Egan is in the house tonight.
Good to see you, Egan.
Mm-hmm. I wonder if she's been busy.
Oxnard Shores, Randy.
I think Randy Ravioli's there.
Yeah, Herman Lloyd.
Oh man, Randy, I almost forgot to say hi to you.
Come on, what are you waiting for, bud?
What's up, Randy?
Get that pumpkin.
Him and his boy Luke are just hanging out tonight.
Yep. And guess what, everyone? We made friends with Randy's friend.
Oh, yes.
That was?
We have a number 2 viewer now.
We do. Number two viewer.
You're not first, you're last.
Yeah. I think he messaged all of us.
He didn't message me. I'd remember it because it probably would have happened numerous times.
He doesn't like you.
So. He's good.
Yeah.
I don't like him either then. As a matter of fact, I'm going to have to fight him now.
So what's going on, boys? What's going on? Dave G, what's going on?
Hey, Hausch is in the house tonight. What's up, Michael Hausch? I just listened to the HVAC School podcast with him and what's his name, Neil Comparetto and Kaiser. They were talking about how difficult it is being an admin in the HVAC school.
Yeah,
Joe, you can relate. You're like the Nazi of the group. You kick everybody out and do stuff.
Oh, they should have invited you on that show, Joe.
They should have.
You could probably give them some tips.
They're doing a good job there. I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm sure. Like their administrators don't allow bad things into the group like somebody.
But see, the thing is, Bill, they need about 10 of them when you only need 1 over here. That's how
you're on it. You're on it good. Although there's been multiple times where Facebook has threatened us to close us down.
Yeah, because I let a few things go, and your admin has let this go, and it's against Facebook rights because it's
is it because like whoever's trying to post, is that actual post what goes against Facebook's rules or whatever?
A lot of times it's comments.
I was gonna say because usually like I think it was Hausch or TY Banana Man. He was on there too. One of those two guys were talking about that, and they said sometimes they won't even allow a post because they're like, I can see where this is going to go. There's no point because it's just going to get heated. It's going to do this, and it sounds like we get a lot of that. So I should have probably took some notes on that one. What's up, Sir Jahala?
Was it the latest school podcast with Trevor?
No.
Oh, the one where they were talking about how people are addicted to our show.
Yeah, it's starting to become an issue. We were actually going to do like a public service announcement to tell
like
you guys
a PSA sort of deal, and like actually have standby counseling for people so they can call. Like if you're addicted to our show, it's not good. You need help.
Yeah, it happens. It happens.
And I never thought about it until I was listening to we were listening to Brian the other day, and I actually have a clip of it here.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, because I mean he's very passionate about getting the message across.
Show the clip, please.
It's not a video. It's just audio.
Yeah.
Here you go.
Yeah. You got to listen with your ears.
Another thing that I want to address quickly, because I think in a lot of our minds, and I would have had this for most of my career, everybody is addicted to overtime. So if you find yourself in this position where you're already so addicted to overtime that you don't feel like you have any bandwidth, then that's probably one of the first things we got to start to deal with is really get that down to where it's more reasonable. I mean, it's easier said than done for sure, but it can be done, and it has to be done, frankly, for everybody's health and for the health of the industry.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So we gotta start helping some people out, the people that are addicted to our show. And I just want to thank Brian Orr, who did not give us permission to use that clip whatsoever.
Yeah,
but
he actually did.
Thanks, Sean.
Yeah, I texted him.
Oh, thank God, because I don't want the HVAC school to start suing us. I mean, they got like 3 lawyers on standby at all times for these sorts of things. So I just want to thank Brian Orr for actually addressing the issue at hand. That people have become addicted to our show, and we just don't know how to stop them. And I mean,
So, change the topic. Somebody in chat
was a good segue, Brett Pretzel.
Yeah, he is. Change the topic. That somebody in chat was saying about line set looking weathered earlier in the year, like early. Have you guys encountered that? And like, I wonder what he's talking about. Like,
probably I know Armaflex.
That's what I'm thinking. Like those mini splits or the ductless systems, they have that arm, whatever, like that white shit you could get, or that you put on. I don't know.
Some line hide on there.
Yeah,
the white stuff was, from what I understand, early on. They said I thought it was UV resistant, but that's not the case because that stuff just shreds apart to nothing.
Yeah, right.
disappears.
I can't like. I don't think it's. I believe they were saying it breathes. Like it could breathe. It's just I think you just can't have moisture get in between it. So what do you do? And
I don't know if I wonder if they fixed the new white stuff.
I'm not sure. I would still like seal the ends somehow. Like the ends, like where just seal them with something. Try not to get moisture inside, whatever.
But I mean, even if you do have that nice white insulation on the outside, you still want that just like on the outside of your house. Don't you always try to sell your?
Of course.
Again, I don't do residential. For everybody out there, I don't know anything about this stuff. So, don't you just want to sell them a line hide, something that's aesthetically pleasing?
I usually try to like pop the line set out right where the condenser's at, so you're not
right
across the whole house anyway.
Right.
Right. But if you want to match their house, you could always get like pool noodles.
Yeah, the pool noodles.
I went and saw my brother-in-law a couple days ago, and his neighbor has an amazing setup. I wanted to get a picture, but he was outside doing stuff, and I didn't want to be like weird. I have my little tripod thing and record his house and like stand in front of it and like this is what shit looks like, people.
Yeah.
And so he's got his condenser for a split system, like on one side of the window, and then in that window is a window shaker, and then on the other side of the window is the condenser for a mini split. I think it's one that he installed or like his brother-in-law or something. Because it comes out and does like one of these wavy noodle deals. The line set comes way out, and then it goes up in like right at the top of the siding, right where the roof meets the edge of the house. It looks it looks so awesome. I just want to get a picture of it so I can show everybody.
A couple people in the chat are saying like the PVC sleeves or the UV resistant sleeves. I'm trying to think. They sell that kit that comes out of the side of the house. What is it? It's called like Armacell or something.
Oh, that's a nice kit. Yeah.
Cell. But it's freaking expensive. I want to say it's like $150 for that.
Like, what is it? Is it sort of like a square? Is it designed to like hide it but look good, or is it just
supposed to be like an air seal type deal or whatever for the hole and makes it look nice for the hole? And then they give you like this rubber thing that you wrap around the Armaflex and the whole line set. Airex.
There you go.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah, it's nice. I don't know I don't know like if the supplier's gonna hold them over here. Honestly, I've never seen it.
I've only seen it online. I don't think I've ever seen it. It's usually like right after the Fat Dad shirt ads.
I just bought a file holder, one of the big metal 7-tier file holders for the cab of my van. So now all my Facebook commercials have changed. So they're all like van accessories. So I'm looking at all these like awesome commercials where these guys are setting up these amazing vans with like shelves hidden in the floor and like floor storage, ceiling storage, like all just the wildest stuff.
Okay.
And I'm like, and I'm thinking back like, well, I guess I got a file holder though. So I guess that's kind of the same.
That's kind of equal.
Yeah, it's kind of the same, I get my books up off the floor.
Yep.
What do you guys?
Man, I had a 12-hour day today.
Mm-hmm.
And it was driving.
I think I maybe worked 2 hours of it and the rest of it was driving.
Oh,
such a long day, dude. And I just had to put a water probe on a ice machine.
And that's wow.
4 hours away, 5 hours
driving that long just for
a water probe, dude. Bonkers.
Wow.
But I mean, I got paid. Best part was I got to catch up on a lot of podcasts.
You got paid. Is the company making money? Oh my god.
No, there's no way. Highly improbable. I'm not sure how that whole deal came about or how it was worked out whatsoever.
The shipping guy showed up with, speaking of ice machines, showed up at my house the other day, Bill. And he just showed up, dropped it off, and he left. And he didn't, on the app, you got to click delivered. I got to release the payment, and he didn't say anything. He just left, and that was it. I'm like, do I got to pay this guy?
I wouldn't.
And then I texted him like 3 hours later. I'm like, hey, dude, you got to like click something so I could pay you because you didn't get paid.
Oh.
Like, oh, okay.
I wonder what he's doing this whole time because he came and picked that up. What day was that? Last Tuesday or something?
Yep.
It was a long time ago. I'm trying to use UShip right now because I have a giant playhouse that I built. And when I move, I want to take it with me. Turns out that's kind of hard to do unless you have certain equipment to properly move these structures, which I do not have. So I put it on UShip. I'm trying to get somebody to move it, but nobody wants to move it.
Hey, Rich.
So many great people in chat.
Be kind, rewind.
3 and unforgettable. You good to see you. My phone on YouTube got nothing. Hemorrhoid ads. Oh, okay.
The Chipmunk 2008, Minky Mutu.
Mm-hmm.
Man, that reminds me. I haven't seen Clive in so long, man. I wonder how he's doing.
He must be. I guess he's working, right?
Yeah, I forget where he's working at though.
I think
He told me.
Chipmunk will up there, or Jonathan will in chat will tell us, or even Alan Anonymous. One of them.
What's that?
Where he's working at. It's some kind of
Clive. I haven't seen him so long. I haven't been able to make it to one of his lives because they're in the middle of the day on Saturday. So
yeah.
Both of my
garbage.
Both of my kids are. Both of my boys are building Clive's supercomputer.
Awesome.
They're like
lights and everything.
They got they're
soldering, like,
and they gave up, and now it's been like a week since they moved forward with it.
Oh yeah.
Man, nothing makes me angrier than when kids just like give up on stuff. Like, let me reference that playhouse that I made. It took me all summer, weekends, nights. What little, if I could put in an hour after work, I would. I built this thing to the nines. And I mean, it's got electricity, like everything.
Spray foam.
Yeah, it's everything. Panel the inside, windows. I mean, it's nice. Kid she's been in there like one time. Yeah, I think it cost me like $48,000. She goes in there one time. I'm like, why am I even taking it with me? Bought her guitar. She played it like twice.
Measure Quick started working on my flip phone.
Okay, what's going on with that?
Wait, you have a flip phone?
Yeah.
Or one of these folding phones?
Yeah, one of those guys. Bill.
Oh, yeah. See, I don't trust those yet.
Why? Oh, you know what? There's like
time. I don't think it's gonna work out.
There's like a clear sticker on the thing, and like the older ones, if you peel it off, it would ruin the screen. And my son started peeling it off, and then it started bubbling all over. But then I was watching like a video on if you carefully pull it off, you could do it, but it's not recommended.
Really?
No.
I did it. I peeled the sticker off.
Oh.
So
that doesn't seem like a good idea.
Well, it was bubbling. Like every time I opened the phone, it was like click, click. You would hear the bubbles slapping in there and everything.
See, I don't think we're there yet. I think we can do it and it'll be okay now. But as far as durability and the amount of time that screen's going to last, I don't think we're there yet with technology.
Well, I'm pissed off because I bought the Flip the Flip 3, and 3 weeks after I bought it, they came out with the 4. I didn't even know that was 2.
Oh wow!
How much you pay for it?
Straight trade for my freaking 4-year-old Note 8.
See, that's not bad then. Man, I'm still rocking a Note 9, dude. What size is that comparable in size to the Note?
It's pretty close, yeah.
Yeah. Interesting.
Camera's not quite as nice, but it folds up and it fits in your pocket. So.
If it's
a Johnny McMasters,
yeah, it's good to see you. If it's a straight trade for a Note 8, then tells me how good the phone is.
Yeah, I mean, if you got no money into it, essentially, I guess it's a good experiment.
Yeah,
if that screen lasts a year, like folding open and close like that, I can't imagine like one day you close it and you just like you got a quarter in your pocket or something, and it rolls into that screen and does something.
What does RES mean on contactor max load?
Resistance. It means resistance. If you have a contactor that's used for like a heating element, like I just looking at a Frymaster. It's an electric Frymaster, and the right on the side of the contactor says 50 amp RES.
Yes,
so
resistive
50
load.
Amps resistance. Yeah, resistive load.
Because then you got the other one was the FLA, which is
full load amps,
which gives you that. So like you said, that's a good point there, Bill. So resistive load would be like a heater, crankcase heater.
Yeah, because it can be different. Like you can have a contactor that's 50 amps resistive load, but it might not be, I guess 50 amps would still be able to handle a motor, but like a big old compressor or something like that, where you have that sudden inrush of amperage, it could spike up above 85 or whatever, and it's
that'll be on the inductive side, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, the inductive side, and it's not rated for it, so
right.
That's another thing you got to watch out when you size for it.
I never realized there was a different rating. I just always saw like 30 amp, 40 amp, 50 amp, whatever.
And something I just found out this week because I learned it the hard way. So I know you guys don't do a lot of hot side stuff. So speak to anybody in the chat who does hot side. I know there was probably like 4 of you guys in there. So this Frymaster fryer, they have each vat has two contactors, a heat contactor and a latching contactor. One's essentially like a safety, and then the one cycles on and off. So the one pulls in when there's a call for heat, other one cycles off on and off with a thermostat, right?
Right.
It's a pretty simple concept. And the contactors, after a while, they go bad just like any other contactor. They buzz and whatnot. So I replaced some, but Frymaster went with a completely different contactor. It's looks like a motor starter, a line starter, and I just don't like those. So I guess I offended Joe.
Yeah.
So I just went and I was like, well, they don't make the old ones, the original ones for it. So I just went and got some regular contactors. I made sure they were 50 amp resistive load rated, all the voltages, everything matched and everything, the coil voltage and everything. And I put them on there, and they're having the same problem where actually, no, I take that back. They're having a new problem where now the contactors aren't pulling in, even though they're essentially supposed to get a call to heat. So what I found out is that those contactors, the non-OEM contactors that I got, the actual coil, that actually pulls in the contact points and actually, makes the contact close. That coil is apparently too high of resistance for the control board to actually power it up to energize it. And I was like, well, that's stupid. And there's nothing on, as far as I know, there's nothing on the side of that contactor that says this coil is whatever ohms of resistance, or it's rated for this, or it's rated for that. So that was the only thing that I couldn't have verified. So long story short, I got to go back and do it the right way with the correct manufacturer contactors.
You know what they call that? Dirt foot.
Dirt foot?
Do it right the first time. The O's are silent.
Oh, that doesn't make a whole lot. You got to explain a lot to get the end of that phrase.
Sorry, guys.
Call that dirt foot. That sounds like a disease.
Gout foot.
I went to a service call today.
Yeah.
On a system that I installed, I think 2017, the end of 2017 or something like that. Mm-hmm. It's a 2-stage 4-ton and a 2-stage 3-ton at this house. Number one, I guarantee it's freaking oversized. I look at it, I'm shaking my head. And number two, I left the original return drops and small 1-inch filters in this thing.
Ooh, it's a bit no-no for you now, eh?
And I tested the airflow with the True Flow.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to kick myself in the nuts.
Hey.
Yeah.
It's going to happen. You're going to come across a lot.
Dude, it just was depressing. And it was like, why didn't I put this thing up on boxes? We could have put them up on boxes. We could have put big media air cleaner, whatever, just a few small tweaks and that system could have been.
That's what I was talking to you the other day. Like, I think for now on, if there's space, I'm just going to put on a box for now on just to save. You know what I mean? Why not? Doesn't hurt.
Yeah.
But whatever. We're going to talk about something before the show. We're talking about it before the show. What was it?
I don't know, because you weren't there.
We were talking about
the
efficiency of
that's right,
condensers and how that relates to dehumidifying.
Gotcha.
Right?
Gotcha.
So we were kind of talking, actually, maybe I should just pull a couple of pull them up. Can you read them? They can't read them, can they?
I don't know.
I could try. Hang on. Make something up.
What do you mean make something up?
Sing a song, Joe.
I wish I knew a song to sing. I would sing it.
Thanks for sharing that, Mike Henderson.
What's he saying?
I'd like to find my old sales guy and kick him right in the peanuts.
Why is that?
That's a good question.
Hey, Griffin.
Oh, I see. Dave G is saying in the problem that I was describing, he said a varistor would solve that issue. They go onto the wire side of the contactor coil. No, there wasn't one in there, or there weren't any in there.
Oh, mercury weighted contactor.
What's a varistor?
That is a good question. Isn't it just very resistance? A varistor.
Sure. I should probably Google it. Isn't that our job to be researching things while we talk about it?
Yeah,
Most
right.
most super successful shows like ours, they have somebody like off to the side where we're like, hey,
Right.
hey, Doug, can you Google this?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
They tell
fact
us.
check this for us real quick. We don't have that yet.
A varistor is an electronic component with an electrical resistance that varies with the applied voltage, also known as a voltage-dependent resistor. It has
So I
a
wonder.
non-linear, non-ohmic current voltage characteristic that is similar of that of a diode.
So if the contactor coil was too high of a resistance for the control board to actually engage, to actually energize it enough to pull it in, how would a varistor change that? If it's in line with the contactor coil, man, I feel like I'm going to walk into a pile of crap and make myself feel dumb. That's okay. So if yeah, you got a varistor in line with the actual contactor and the control wiring going into the contactor coil. So how would that actually? Come on, Dave G, speak up. How would that actually do anything?
Dave G is super smart, by the way.
I don't doubt that.
There's a
I mean,
lot of people in
he's
chat
watching
that
this
are-
show. I just assume he learned everything from this show.
He probably
I
did
agree.
because I think he's one of the people that are guilty of being, you know,
John is saying it's in
OG.
parallel with the coil.
obsessed with overtime.
Solid state relay.
Yeah, but is it somehow because it's varying resistance? So what is it doing to the actual current, the electricity actually going into the coil?
Hamilton said it too. It limits the current.
Keeps the coil from pulling too many amps, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Huh. But how does it do that? Somebody tell me how it does it. It's limiting the current that the coil can pull.
Metal
Interesting.
oxide varistor.
I don't
And
know
if
what.
it's-
Yeah, varistor. What you guys are talking about?
And if it's limiting the current that the coil can pull, the coil can actually still energize. It can still pull in. Hey, Randall, we were
You're almost sounding like it's what's it called?
I-
Solid state relay or like a.
I confirmed the coil voltage via resistance value. No, I just knew the old one was a 24-volt coil. That's just what I got. The only thing I did confirm was the resistive load amps. They were both 50. That was literally the only thing I did. And obviously the voltage was, I don't know, what is 600 volts or something like that. I'm losing track of the chat here.
Yeah, there's a lot
And
of
I
good
believe
comments.
MOV would make that contactor. I don't know what you're saying, John.
He doesn't believe an MOV would make the contactor work. And somebody else said what the MOV is, but that was too far up. I don't remember.
Oh yeah, I don't know what MOV is. Move over. Mothers of victims.
Oh. I have no idea. I don't know what you guys are talking about, to be honest.
As usual.
Yeah.
So it just varies the resistance, but somehow it sounds almost like it's a, I don't know, like a EPR valve on a reefer system.
Stands for metal oxide varistor anonymous. Thank you.
You guys and your big words.
These guys are too
Metal
smart.
oxide varistor. And John's like, oh, it's an MOV. John's a pretty smart guy, though.
Yes,
I've had some deep conversations with him.
Yeah.
Did you he was kind of showing me his personal system for his house that he installed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
sent
yeah,
that
I've
email
seen that
out.
before.
Yeah.
That's
I
what
wonder how it's
done with
doing.
that?
huh?
Is he all done with that?
I don't know. He said he's been working on it for a couple of years, I believe, hasn't he?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I would love to see the
Last-
update for sure.
I'd like to
job.
see what his significant others thinks of that entire deal.
It's pretty neat out
I'd
of the
like
way.
to see what anyone that buys the house thinks of that deal.
Oh, that's
I
a good
know.
point. They're like, what is all this nonsense? Hey, Sean S.
We should
Bill, ever work on the CTX ovens? I don't think so. What are they? Is that a pizza oven, maybe? It sounds like it's an Imperial brand something. I remember working on an Imperial oven that had some sort of X in the model number, but yeah, I'm not sure.
One of my favorite videos that you made, Bill, is the bread oven that you climbed inside of. That was terrifying.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
That
really?
was terrifying. You imagine somebody just kicking that door shut and like turning it on.
Oh, my God.
Luckily, it didn't work
That'd be
though. But
devastating.
yeah. Hey, what's up, last guy?
What is the best practice for replacing belts on cooling tower? You replace them. I know here they want you to I guess, recheck the bolts on things like that. Maybe after 24 hours, I think they say. Yeah, that's what they do here, anyways. That's what they want you to do. But
Here?
yeah, that's probably everywhere. It's just standard. Replace it 24 hours later to check them again, recheck them.
I've never heard that in my entire life.
No?
No, not ever. Not ever one time.
Yeah.
Is that like a rule of thumb or something that you guys do in Canada?
I would think it's a good practice to recheck them. Yeah.
Are you still moving to Ohio?
I don't know. We'll see.
I'll do it. I could swing by your house like every day.
I can't believe you drove from Michigan to Cleveland. Like
Dude, I do that like 2-3 times a week, man.
Wow.
Oh,
That's
next
nuts.
week they're like, "Hey, you want to go work in Pennsylvania for the day?" I'm like, "I'd never been there before." So
Pennsylvania?
Pennsylvania, bro. You know how
Oh
far
my
away that
God.
is?
Dude.
For some reason, I think that refrigeration guys, like, it's pretty normal. Because I was talking to Dave G, and he freaking drives all the way down to like Florida and crap.
Yeah.
Really?
And the thing is, like around here too, is I mean, there's a lot of contractors, but I don't know if it's a lot of customers that are like rotating through them because like some are just sucky and whatever the deal is. But it's like whenever I get these faraway calls, I'm like thinking to myself, and I like the business. Don't get me wrong. I'm glad they're calling us, but I'm like, you guys don't even be closer. And
I know.
You guys
like,
charge
no.
full labor like for drive time, or
I hope so. I don't know because I get paid to drive, so and I use that drive time to listen to podcasts, educate myself a little bit.
what's your
I don't
favorite?
listen to the radio. That is a good question. I was actually going to ask you guys. I even wrote it down. What podcast do you guys like? Because since I've had all this drive time, I've had to broaden my scope of podcasts. So I'm going to open up my app right now and tell you a couple that I really, really enjoy.
Interesting.
So you just fill the dead air for a second, Joe.
I like School the best. That is
HVAC School.
well-rounded. There's broad array of topics, and yeah.
So my podcasts, I got like 30 of them. I would say probably 10 of them are my Spanish podcast that I use to study Spanish. But since I've had so much additional time, like I said, I've been broadening my range of podcasts. So I've moved into like personal growth podcasts,
Okay, cool.
like mental health, personal growth, fitness. So a couple of them that you guys really should check out is this one called Impact Theory. Really, really good podcast. It's more or less like covers a lot of things in life. It's like if you don't have a life coach, this guy kind of helps you, motivates you, brings on guests that are inspirational, not in like a cheesy way either. Like he had Michael Stranahan on there a couple episodes ago.
Okay.
And it was awesome. Like that dude's super cool. So that's a good one. Quick Brain. That's Jim Quick. He does a lot of brain hacks, tells you how to learn faster, learn better, absorb more when you're reading it. If you guys ever follow Trevor Matthews, I think he mentions him quite a bit.
Oh.
A Refrigeration Mentor podcast, HVAC School, of course, Advanced Refrigeration podcast. I don't even subscribe to our podcast because there's no point.
Yeah, because you don't update them.
No, I don't update them hardly ever.
Did last week.
Did he?
Yeah, I started adding a couple in. And then the other one I want to recommend you guys is check out, actually two other ones I'll recommend. One is Dave and Chuck the Freak. Check it out. It's hilarious. And then the other one is called Mind Pump. Really good stuff. It's more like fitness and with a touch of like mental health, how to deal with stress, the adversities of life, but really good stuff. So check those out. I hope you guys were taking notes. There'll be a place later.
Speaking of podcasts, we're actually debuting a new podcast tomorrow.
Yeah. It's going to be different. I got goosebumps thinking about it.
Very different.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to be talking about what is it called, Bill? It's a Cooler Head podcast. Cooler Heads.
Cooler Heads.
Basically, whoever wants to be on it, I guess, right? With Brett.
Yeah, with Brett Pretzel. And really the only theme of that is going to be work and home life balance and the various relationships within those. And that's it. So it's not going to be another overtime because there's only one of those.
Nothing could be like overtime.
No.
We're not gonna go off on tangents. This is basically I'm gonna use this as like a therapy session.
Yeah, so I was thinking too. I'm going to use it as a therapy session, talk about like what bothers me about the whole being in this industry, not ever knowing exactly what time you're going to get home, the struggles of maintaining relationships with your kids and your your wives, your husbands, your
Yeah.
boyfriends. What are their other, I don't know, furries? What are furries? They're their furry husbands, whatever.
They dress up like bears.
Yeah.
But anyways, it's
Furries.
kind of like, you know, like I don't know. I was kind of raised by my grandpa that was a World War II vet, and if you would cry, he'd be like, "What are you, a girl?" You know. And my whole point behind this is there's a lot of guys out there that it's like they think it's kind of like sissy to go see a therapist or whatever. So you don't need to see a
100%.
therapist. You can just listen to our podcast.
Yeah.
And
So you just remain broken. And I would say, at least I know with myself, and this will all be stuff that we'll save for that. But I know, I'll just say this real quick. At least with myself, I know a lot of the interpersonal problems that I've had have really capped my potential as far as not just being a great service technician, being a great father, husband, brother, son, like all that stuff. It's really capped it. And the thing is, though, is I have come to realize that, and I'm smart enough to understand that I need to improve that. So I suck up my humility and I figured these things out. You know, they're not obstacles in your life, they're puzzles.
I
You just figure them out.
eat licorice for my happiness to make me go in my happy place.
Yeah. So when you get diabetes, you can just remember how happy you felt when you're eating all those. And
So my purchase for the week was Fat Dad shirts and licorice.
man, I bought a
thing.
I don't know if I told you guys this last week, but my last purchase was this TV from like, I think it's like 1986 or something. It's called a Mega Watchman. It's a cassette player TV combo from the 80s, and it's mint, still sealed in the package from the factory. Fucking mint, bro.
What are you gonna do with that?
Awesome. Set it on my shelf just to look at it.
Oh.
Now back to relationships and that. Bill's wife keeps asking him, "Why do you keep ordering all this stupid shit online when they're moving in 2 weeks?"
Oh,
So
that's
it's delivered to his current house, and he's
That's
gonna
a good question.
and move it to his new
Yeah.
house.
I have all those boxes that were behind me at one point now. Imagine those doubled and now downstairs
Oh my
in bigger
God.
boxes.
That's nuts, Bill.
Yeah, it's I gotta slow down because I'm not made of money, son. I'm not made of money. If I ever want to achieve financial independence, then I should probably set a little bit of that aside, I suppose.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm buying crypto.
Yeah, is that what you guys are doing, or that's what you're doing?
Yeah.
Now, what are you doing, Joe, for not to get too involved in your personal life, but investments? Like you got 401k, pension. Like what do they do in Canada over there?
There's no such thing as 401k here.
No pensions.
Yeah, pensions. Yeah, I put a little bit away, but not much right now. But I put a little bit away. That's about it.
You're not going to be able to be installing snow melt forever. You're back.
Yeah, that's and that's where you really got to start thinking about these things. So like, what are you going to do when you go to retire, Joe? Because you probably got like what, maybe another 20 years left in you. So in 20 years, you're not going to be able to save up enough in 20 years to retire for the next. Because if you retire at 60, let's say you live till you're 90, that's 30 years you have to live with whatever money you saved up in 20 years. The math isn't there.
Yeah, I got you.
And actually, I was listening to a couple different people, including Joe Rogan, and he was saying like, there's a good possibility that 30-year-olds now will live till they're 120 with the development of medical technology and that.
Wouldn't that be some shit if you like planned your whole retirement based off of whatever age you're like, I'm going to shoot for 100, probably not going to make it. Everybody in my family never makes it. We got a history or whatever. And then you live to be like 120. And then like the last 20 years of your life, you're just dirt poor because you didn't plan that far. And you're like, I didn't know I was going to live this long.
I'm going to mooch off my kids.
You should. I mean, they're mooching off of you right now.
It's terrible.
That's a good idea. There you go.
But I mean, it's something you should really think about. I'm thinking about it quite a bit now. As my knee hurts, my back hurts.
Yeah,
body's starting to get beat up a little bit.
Yeah.
Don't blame Peter for long.
Invest in yourself. Eat healthy. Save some money. Stop spending it on dumb eBay shit.
Yeah.
I am legitimately spending almost all my money, besides for the licorice, on different classes and certifications coming up now. I'm traveling nonstop to these classes. I'm super excited.
Like what?
Like, I'm doing the ACA design class with Ed Janowak in Washington, D.C.
Mhm.
I'm going to the Energy Conservatory for Train the Trainer with Chris Hughes and Steven Rogers.
Awesome.
I'm going to NCI with Bill. What is that? Right outside of Detroit, National
Yeah.
Company 2
In
What are they
November.
doing? What are they doing again? NCI?
Combustion.
Oh,
combustion
nice.
training and
That'll
certification.
be cool because I've never been to a combustion class.
Nice.
Never
Yeah.
even used a combustion analyzer, to be honest with you.
Really?
Yeah. 100%.
Wow.
Yeah. I've never been in a company that really pushed it. And, not to, pass the blame for me not knowing something off on somebody else. But there was a point at my last company where I was going to go to a class, but it never worked out. And then I switched companies and now it's going to work out.
Well, you know what? I think you should spend some time and actually go through some training with TEC too, because airflow, I think you'll get a lot out of airflow.
I agree 100%. And, like investing money in yourself and your education like that, that's a very good exit strategy. If you can swing that over into like, consulting or training, I mean, there's a couple good avenues for that. Like I'd like to move into some sort of a training role, but I just don't know if not every company is structured in a way that they could easily take on like an active training role, because you have to have money for one. You have to be very profitable. You have to have things set up in a certain way that allows you to focus more or less on training. You're talking shops, the logistics, equipment in your shop, your ability to create curriculums and stuff.
But you could also be like a traveling nomad, like TY Banana Man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I put my application in for that Copeland Emerson gig, the trainer. I haven't got any calls or anything, probably, but well, not probably, but probably because they know who I am, and they're like, "Yeah, we're not calling that guy." But no, but something like that, like TY Banana Man, he just kind of nomads around the earth and does a couple training events every so often, and he goes back into the high desert and lives with mountain people.
Yeah.
Let's look at chat here, boys. If there's anything interesting in here. Oh, you should highlight that one. Thanks for all the answers. He did ask a few. Last one, air source heat pump. Will not come on.
Bad news, Monk. He says, I just turned 30 now. All my bones pop when I get out of bed. Got to start my rooftop morning yoga again. That's right, Bad News Monk. I'm telling you guys, stay stretched out, start eating healthy, exercise a little bit.
For the heat pump, you just cycle it like heating mode, cooling mode. Usually releases whatever's stuck there.
Who's trying to do?
I know he's saying it's stuck in cooling mode, so you could try to like I don't know, block the condenser and put it like switch it from heating mode, cooling mode, and usually happens, usually works. But
get a hammer, bang that reversing valve.
Yeah. See what happens after doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Anything interesting to this week, boys? Anything planned?
This week, let's see.
Like this coming up week, or
yeah, after the weekend.
No,
nothing. No.
I'll probably be driving Monday and Tuesday, and then Wednesday I'll do a service call, and then I'll drive Thursday and Friday all the way back home.
Oh wow,
that's not really going to happen, but that's what it feels like some weeks. So, no, nothing too crazy going on. Just a couple of rooftop units to be installed. We had a walk-in freezer that we're trying to figure out what happened. The actual walk-in freezer box itself, I don't know if you guys have ever taken one of these apart, but they come in panels, put them together, and you lock them together and all this stuff. Yeah. And they basically just sit there, right, in the building. The one's inside the building anyway, and this one's inside the building, and it is somehow shifted to like one corner is like raised up, and it twisted the box, and now we have all these gaps. Like there's these big giant gaps that are like, I don't know, 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch. But the box is sitting on the floor, so obviously I think the floor has been heaving underneath this underneath the freezer. Could be moisture underneath there. I don't know. But they were like, "What can you guys do to fix this?" Like,
you got to take it apart, right?
Yeah, we'd have to take it apart, and I don't know, try to at least shut everything down, kind of let it warm up, get all the product out of there, and see if we can maybe lift it up somehow, level it. Honestly, I don't know.
Ouch.
I mean, they would have to. I feel like they should address the floor issue before they do anything else.
Right.
Which
Do you ever like? Is that a job where obviously everyone has customers that have realistic expectations and ask you to do things that you just know are not going to work? Do you just walk on jobs like that? What do you say? Like, how do you respond to them?
Well, usually we say yeah, and then I'm like, oh man, this is gonna suck.
Usually we say yeah.
Yeah, and then I'm like, why are we saw cutting into a drive-through to pull some plumbing pipes out? Like, we're not plumbers,
Right.
Stuff like that. I'm like, this is wild. And then we'll do it, and like it'll kind of work. I mean, it's not the greatest, but it'll kind of work. But luckily, we don't do that very often. Like a lot of times, we either sub it out or they I don't know, or it's one of these ideas they don't actually need done. They just get by and have very inefficient equipment. Like this walk-in freezer deal. It's been like that for a while. It's just now we're the new contractor, and they're like, well, what can you guys do to fix it? I'm like, I mean, I don't know. We got to figure out what's going on underneath this floor.
Like Sequest said, yeah, there's moisture problems somewhere. Somewhere there's moisture happening. Like,
yeah, and it could be just maybe I don't know how thick that concrete is, because I think it's a walk-in freezer. I wasn't there myself. I just looked at pictures, talked to the other tech, blah blah blah. But it's a concrete slab that it sits on. So I mean, there could be moisture just sitting underneath there due to bad drainage around the building.
Insulation around the building, around the space. Who knows?
It's a tiled floor. You could just have moisture underneath the tiles.
Check humidity out, like around the what's it called? Around the walk-in.
Hey, thanks, Small Fry.
What's Small Fry saying?
I said something, but I took a shit.
You are the shit.
Yeah, that reminds me. I've been holding back a turtle head.
Really?
This entire time.
Yeah.
Be a man.
Well, it's good that we came out today. I wasn't feeling too well. I was tired and stuff, but
yeah, what are you tired from, Joe? You're not even wearing a shirt today.
Yeah, I am.
What's up with that? You're wearing a zip-up hoodie.
How do you know?
Because I can see it. Yeah, you're on camera.
You can't tell. Maybe I'm wearing a V-neck or something.
No, you're not wearing a V-neck. If you were, you wouldn't zip it up all the way.
So are you going to be, what is it, 9 o'clock? You're going to be there, right, Bill, tomorrow? No?
Probably, yeah, probably be there.
What's 9? Oh, okay.
Joe's kind of early, though.
Yeah.
Joe can't be there because he's not married.
That's right.
When you get married, Joe, come talk to us.
Yeah, hurry up and get married and then divorce and then boom.
Yeah,
hurry up. If I get married, though, guys, I'm going to be like Chris. I'm going to be happy, no complaining.
No, 100% no. I think, was it this week? Like, I was talking to Chris, and like somehow his wife was on the horn too, and I was like, you guys are so gay. So they were doing that lovey-dovey thing. I'm like, you guys are just so gay.
I wish I would have saved your comment that you made, because occasionally we do like voice comments or whatever when we're driving. Can I repeat it? I got to repeat it. It was
sure.
awesome.
What did I say?
So Bill was actually talking towards Chris, and Chris responded, and you could hear him. He was actually listening to the comment in the shower.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right.
They're going back and forth, and then he said like some kind of a statement or a little bit of a story, and then he stopped, and Bill's like, "Hey, dude, when you said, oh, Chris is like, no, what did he say? He's like, don't leave me hanging here.
Don't leave me hanging."
Yeah, Bill was like, he's like, that didn't sound too well. He's like, I'm not sure what you're talking about, the story or something else.
I was like, that's super gay, bro. Super gay. Chris is super gay, though. That's okay. That's okay. We still don't mind him. You know what I heard?
What?
Breaking news. You're not supposed to use the word spaz anymore. Did you guys know that?
Why?
Really?
Yeah, it's apparently now a slur against mentally challenged people.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, because it had this long meaning because it's like spastic or something, and then there's this type of mental handicap that it's directly related to, and they call it a slur now. And apparently, the only reason I know about it is because there's this new song by Beyonce, and she uses that word in there twice, and she's gonna remove it to appease all her fans.
Well, that was the thing too. I know my wife was saying, but like, was it a couple months or a year when they said this is the new thing for white power. I'm like, I'm pretty sure for like 200 years that meant okay.
Yeah.
Or if you do it upside down on under your belt buckle like that, if somebody looks at it, then you get to punch them in the shoulder.
It's
Oh, yeah, I
okay.
remember that,
And
yeah.
it's upside down owl face sunglasses.
And
I
punch
have no idea.
Yeah.
Jason.
So yeah, you can't say spaz anymore. So
Yeah, Chipmunk is saying it's always, was it Chipmunk who said it? Oh no, I'm saying it's always been a slur, and Helsh is saying too it's the slur in Europe.
now that I think about it, it probably has been a slur because whenever I used to call people spazzes, that's
Yeah.
what I was essentially thinking of. You know, somebody just kind of freaking out, having a stroke or something.
I
So,
mean,
yeah.
I don't think like growing up, like being born in the early 80s, I think we were probably fairly politically incorrect.
Oh yeah, 100%, man.
But nobody
I can't
cared.
tell you like how many
Yeah.
effed up things I said to my friends and in front of other people, and it was like, meh.
Like
It's
at
okay.
church in front of the pastor.
And say what now?
Like at church in front of the pastor. The
Oh
priest.
yeah, yeah.
You
He's
use
like,
dink.
damn it. Yeah, dink. I mean, that's kind of just like a swear word, I suppose.
Ted was
Dink
saying I was
tomorrow.
in a band called the Spastic Children. Interesting name.
That is an interesting name.
Laska
Even
says
retard was normal in the 90s.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Small fry was.
You can
And
use
I
dink
still-
instead. I like that.
I mean, I still use it quite a bit though, and it's a fault of mine, I would suppose, but
You're super politically incorrect though, Bill.
oh,
not
oh yeah.
that bad. No,
Super
not
duper.
that bad.
Oh yeah, super
Some-
duper.
Sometimes I'm like
Super
uncomfortable, and I'm trying to get off camera because I feel so weird about how
Does it make does it like make your back sweat in all the weird spots?
Oh yeah.
Sometimes
that
Sweaty
level of
eyes.
uncomfortableness.
I'm like, I'm wishing I could just turn you off.
I
Yeah.
wish upon a
Yeah.
wishing star. Like that time we were talking about Randy fucking pumpkins.
Oh my god.
Man, that's great.
Thing. Yeah. I'm pretty sure he got it. He was laughing too.
Randy's a cool guy though, so he's
Yeah.
okay with it.
He liked when you said Randy and Luke with his balls out.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
hilarious.
It's probably because I guessed right.
Well, because you said Luke, and Luke, you know,
Luke's always
Chris's
got his
Luke is known for his, yeah. his
you
balls
know,
out.
balls to the wall in that place.
Right.
Literally.
But anyways, boys. Oh, my cam just got
Oh,
disconnected.
there we go.
I should be still back in a second here.
Your was your battery dying?
No. I think I just moved the thingy majiggy on the side.
Did you upgrade to a Game Boy powered camera from the 90s?
No, it's coming back. It
Your
should be
blue
coming back.
dots are moving slower than usual.
I love his optimism. It's
I
coming
know.
back. It's coming back. I just got to wait for the sun to realign with my solar panels. There's a cloud overhead.
Oh my god.
The sad thing is, I said, hey, out of the overtime money, can we
Yeah.
just send you a camera? And Joe's like, no. This is better than any camera you're gonna send me.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah.
Notice the only person with blue dots blinking up and down 14
Unbelievable.
The guy who's usually sideways.
This is unbelievable.
Just wait till his 3 dots go sideways.
Wow.
That's gonna be awesome. Look, they're vertical. I think it's coming back.
You look taller, Joe.
I think it's coming
Jeez.
back. Why don't you turn the lights on, Joe?
How about if I push this in like this?
Do.
Don't push that.
Anyway, let me unplug
You ever
it.
watch those dots? There's the actual pattern to it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
there?
I didn't really notice that. Yeah, there's a little bit of a pattern to it.
Why isn't it going on? Hold on.
You know what I kind of wanted to talk about before we wrap
Yeah,
this
cool.
thing up?
So we gotta wrap it up.
Ladders. So we had a brief discussion before the show about ladders.
Oh,
So you guys in the chat, what size ladder do y'all carry? I know some of you guys who are strictly residential, you probably don't have the big long extension ladders. Maybe you do, maybe don't. I don't know. What size ladder do you guys carry? I carry a 28-foot extension ladder and then just a simple little 6-foot A-frame.
Yep.
You know, or is it an 8-foot? Not a 6 or 8-foot. It doesn't matter. But the 28-foot, I think is pretty perfect for, I guess, light commercial stuff that I do. I can climb up to most buildings. Bad News Monk says he's got a 26. Advanced Refrigeration Podcast is a 32-foot ladder, man. F that noise. You ever climb up a 32-foot ladder?
Yeah, it was higher than that. I was
Dude.
scared shitless, dude.
like I can do the building ladders that are bolted to the side of the building and you got that cage around you. Like I can do probably 40, 50 foot of that,
Yeah.
maybe even higher. But 32 foot all the way up on the top, and you're climbing over a parapet wall, and it's all like wobbly and
Oh my god.
no.
And
You know what you guys gotta check out on YouTube? There's a chimney man from like England or something called like Fred Dubner or something.
all right.
Sounds like a chimney sweep's name.
And like, I'm talking about like the industrial like factory chimneys, those things that are like a couple 100 feet tall.
Oh
Okay.
yeah.
Well, he would take like wooden ladders and he would set them up straight on the building and then drive stakes into the brick and then tie off the ladder and then rope up another ladder. And he would basically put a bunch of ladders, tie them off all the way to the top, and then make scaffolding around the top and then work on the chimney.
Oh, nice. Adam P says he's dead, but he was a fucking legend.
Yeah. Fred Dubner.
Yeah,
wonder how he died.
Yeah,
You think he fell?
in a chimney. Yeah.
Natural causes. Your body goes splat. That's kind of natural. Gravity's
Yeah.
natural.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's what happened.
We did a boiler at a church. Well, we did a couple churches, but one church we abandoned their chimney because we went with an indirect tank and a couple condensing boilers, and they asked if we can go to the top of the chimney and cap off the existing chimney, and this thing was freaking tall,
Oh gosh.
crazy tall. I'm like,
I hate those things.
nah. I'm like, you call
Just
the
leave
fire
it.
department or something. Just leave it. It's been like
Call the fire department.
Man,
100 years.
you've seen my house, Adam. Like I got such a steep roof. The pitch on that thing is just nuts. So when I went to decommission my chimney, I actually thought for a second, it's like I can get up there, smash with a hammer, and have a roofer come in and roof over real quick because I couldn't find anybody to just do it for me. And I put a ladder up against my house and I started climbing up there. And I was like, no. Like once I get off this ladder, I'm just going to slide right down. I don't understand how anybody can walk on that pitch. I've had my entire roof redone, and I've seen people doing it. I just don't know how they do it.
Yeah. When
Like
our
magic feet.
the house we had before this, it's the house was like an A-frame house kind of deal. It's like the front and back of the house. Originally, it all was a 12-12 pitch, which is a 45-degree angle, right?
Right.
The center of the house, they put a, what do they call it, where they bump it up, and they made it very low pitch, but it was super tall, super tall. So when we were working on it, we put in new plumbing, and the roofers put in like one of those lead vent
We
things.
miss you too, Chris.
You got to tab over the lead into the plumbing pipe, the vent, so it doesn't leak all over.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm gonna go up there and do it. I get to the top rung of the ladder. I'm like, I can't do it. We each tried to go up there multiple times. I called my brother's friend that's a carpenter. I'm like, you want to come over here and do this for us? I'm like, I'll buy you a case of beer. He's like, I'll be right over. So he shows up
right over
in sandals, climbs up on the low part, the low pitch portion of the roof, and then shimmies over the 12-12 pitch in sandals, and then does it in like 2 minutes, comes back down, and he was already half in the bag. He's like, do you have my beer? I'm like, I didn't even buy it yet.
What you do for beer, I guess when you're used to it, whatever, it's easy. Christian was in chat, which is awesome. He was on his anniversary and he wants to say he misses us. Awesome.
Was
I
he?
wonder if he's doing anything cool for his
He was in chat.
No, he's not.
anniversary.
He was.
He's
The
on
air
the,
conditioning guy. Good to see you, buddy.
he's on the couch.
Well, now he's
Probably.
maybe on the couch, but he was on it.
Probably watching The Notebook with his wife.
Then
They seem like that couple that does that. Like if you were friends with them, like imagine if we all lived close to Chris. Like it would be awesome. But what do you guys think? You think we could handle his level of like happiness? You know how when you hang out with happy people for way too long, it kind of like gets on your nerves and like bums you out because you're like, how is this guy so happy?
Yeah.
happy people are nice, Bill. You guys are just so bitter.
That's true. That's
Come
true.
on,
I need
be
to
positive, man.
surround myself with more people like that. Hey, we got Trevor Matthews in the chat here, refrigeration mentor himself.
Good to see you,
Which,
Trevor.
by the way, Trevor's putting on a class. I think it's full, if I remember correctly, but he's doing a upcoming rack class, and then I think next month he's doing a CO2 class, which I am going to go to that one instead. So, Trevor, if you can hear me, hold a seat for me, please. I've just been dragging ass on actually getting the paperwork filed and actually getting that paid for and all that other stuff.
Nice.
But yes, hold a spot for me, Trevor. I'm coming to the CO2 class.
I will.
I want to learn all about CO2 for some reason. I don't work on it. I may never work on it, but it sounds really cool.
Dustin says, "Don't do it. Negativity fuels the soul." But
You
how do
guys are
how do people stay positive? That's what I want to know. How do you stay positive?
stay positive. You have to stay positive.
Well, look at like that's one of the things like I struggle because life is just beating you down. But then you get somebody like Dustin or Trevor Matthews, and you start talking to him, and these guys are just like they're like sunshine and rainbows coming out of their ass.
This book, I just got this book the other day. I haven't read it yet, so I can't vouch for it, but I've heard good things about it anyway. So that book, The Power of Positive Thinking.
Awesome,
And
Bill.
then this book has been awesome. Unlimited Power by Tony Robbins.
Cool.
This book is addresses a lot of stuff like your negativity. For me at least, negativity comes from self-talk. Like you can change your whole world with a couple words. Super easy.
I agree.
You're having a bad day. Well, that's because you choose to. Like you're talking yourself into that bad day. You can easily talk yourself out of that bad day.
Yeah.
But you fall into these patterns throughout life and you turn into a bitter son of a bitch.
That's
and
right.
It's hard to break those patterns.
Right.
People can change. It's just really, really hard, and most don't do it.
I agree.
So if once you recognize those patterns, like I recognize a lot of my patterns, I'm usually a dick at home. And so now I just have to interrupt those patterns, create new patterns.
Is it working?
Slowly. But it is, honestly, it's hard to change. Like I've been monotone and pissed off for 40 years.
Yeah.
I was born this way.
Do you still have the life coach?
Yeah.
How's that going?
100% I would pay for it all over again.
Really?
I might actually do another year with him.
I would like to have Trevor as my life coach. I feel like I'd be going places. That dude.
He's so busy though.
I know.
But
But
that Trevor is a Canadian. Just realize that, okay, guys?
you are the anti. You are like
Yeah, that's
And
true.
look at Brett, Jordan Peterson, another Canadian. These Canadians, I tell you guys, you're just good.
Brett's not Canadian.
Jordan Peterson is.
Oh, I don't know that guy.
you are like the Venom. If Trevor's Spider-Man, you are Venom. Joe.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Exact opposites.
That's awesome.
You got some sort of alien infection, and now you're not like a nice Canadian anymore.
I'm always nice.
That's why, like, the first time I met Trevor, I was like, this is what Canadians are really like, eh?
I honestly think we kind of broke Joe early on. I think he started off being real nice, and then he kind of got the American vibe, but then he took it too far.
Mm-hmm.
Took it a few steps too far.
He absorbed too much of our negativity.
It was like he was surrounded by it too much too quickly.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still good. I'm still a good Canadian.
Mm-hmm.
I try to bring you guys down a bit.
But no, like, as far as like life coaches go, and this isn't like some crazy hippie yoga instructor who tells me I gotta worship the sun god or anything crazy like that.
Yeah,
it's kind of like my own miniature Tony Robbins. Like, helps me figure out these patterns I need to break to try to, I don't know what the word is, achieve all my potential. Like, there's a ton of shit that I could do, but most of the time I come home, I'm pissed off and I'm angry and I don't do this. I don't make this a priority. I don't do bunches of other things, but
that's more sad.
That's a deep conversation.
Yeah. Anyways, let's get out of here.
Well, I didn't queue up the thing beforehand because we were talking turkey.
Well, queue it out, just end it. Like,
it's gonna blast you.
Fucking turkey.
No.
I feel like we do this every week.
Guys, it's only 154 episodes.
Right?
That's right, Brett Pretzel.
See
that podcast is going to be extremely great for our own mental stability.
All right. So
tomorrow, and that's where we will have those deep conversations.
Everyone, the Cooler Heads podcast, click and subscribe. I think we're broadcasting on YouTube tomorrow morning. Then we're going to move it over to a podcast, and yeah,
it's like switching from maple to Caro syrup will 100% change a Canadian. Okay.
I don't know what that means.
Maple syrup. I really enjoy pancakes, Joe, and I think a lot of Canadians do.
Yeah, and what can you have pancakes with? Maple syrup.
Exactly.
Bologna.
Bologna.
You ever have a fried bologna sandwich?
Yeah, actually. Oh my god, my ears!
I know, right?
Holy!
I just fry that bologna up and put it between a couple of pancakes with some bacon.
Sounds good.
A little dab of maple syrup in the middle.
Little dab will do it.
Brett's saying, if I ever had a fluffer nutter. I don't even know what that is.
I think it's a candy bar or something.
I've always wanted to be a fluffer.
Mhm.
No, I didn't.
Kenneth,
I didn't see
that
it.
Joe smuggled.
That'll make it to the blooper reel.
Yeah, right.
If I can find another clip of like, what do you guys want to be when you grow up? I always wanted to be a fluffer.
Yeah, it didn't sound too good. It didn't sound too good,
No.
especially coming from Brett.
Yeah.
Oh, but he's a nutter and his butter. Okay.
Nate's in the chat. Nate.
There's all kinds of people in the chat today. Cool.
See, Nate's another guy who probably knows how many licks it takes to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop.
Yep. That's one way to wrap it up. For sure.
You know what I mean? Wink, wink.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
See you next week
See you guys.
or
Hasta
tomorrow morning.
luego.
Tomorrow morning. Click and subscribe.